Hey guys, so today we're taking a look at our undefeated deck profile. We did take home a winner card from our locals here. It's going to be the Peanut Butter Luffy. This is going to be a build without the Gecko Moria since he was banned, but we'll take a look at the leader first here. It's going to be Attach Dawn, increasing all costs of characters +1, and then once per turn on your turn, you're able to return 2 Dawns, use leader effect, and gain an active and rested. So a great way to kind of ramp and refund Dawn. There's going to be a lot of cards that will synergize with this leader, and we finally found a good combination that makes this a very powerful and fun deck to play. So make sure you do check this out and give it a try. We do start with 10 Dawn. Obviously these are going to be the Bob Lucci SquarePants Dawn sleeves. You will have this available on the merch store, or if you are at the Montreal or Toronto event, I will be giving a bunch away, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that and take a look. So we'll start with the deck profile here, and I will go through everything and then also show you how to navigate through the different matchups and also see the different combinations and plays that you'll be able to do with this deck. But we'll start off with the 1000 Sunny 1 cost stage. It's going to allow you to draw a card and also increase all your black straw hats by +1 cost. It's going to be synergizing with a bunch of other cards just to kind of help it out and just go through everything. But we'll do a 4 of the Trafalgar Law here. It's a 1 cost 1000 counter, 2000 attacker. This is a searcher. It will look for top 4 cards, finding a Straw Hat or Heart Pirate. You'll be able to find most stuff in here, pull most of the cards out there other than probably your Gum Gum Giant, because it's a 1 cost. So just note that that's probably one of the events that you're unable to pull this, but most of this deck profile is going to be Straw Hats and Heart Pirates, so it's not too bad. The next card we're going to do is a 3 of. It's going to be 2k counter, 2 cost, 2000 power. Once per turn, when you minus Dawn out, you're able to then increase the attack power of one of your characters or even your leader. This one generally is used for 2k counter, but if you do break card, this is something to consider if you don't have like a turn 1 or turn 2 play. Dropping it down sometimes may end up being pretty powerful, just because you can gain that attack power and hopefully mull out some cards and whatnot out of your opponent's hand. But the next one that we do play is going to be our Usopp Hachi here. It's a 3 cost 2000 power, 3000 attacker. On play, if you have 8 or more Dawn, you're able to then rest one of your opponent's 5 costs or less. A great way to really like rest blockers and kind of go for a game. A lot of times we find in this meta that this is more of a 2k, but this can obviously be super clutch in certain matchups. We've also used this quite a bit in the old meta for Black Yellow Luffy, so resting, just being able to rest blockers and kind of going for game is pretty powerful, but in the end it's a pretty strong 2k also. The next of is a 4 of. It's going to be our Zoro here. It's a 3 cost, there's no counter, 5k attacker, but on play, when you return Dawn, you're able to then gain an active Dawn. So this is going to be one of your main ramp cards that you're going to really want to look for early game. It really pushes you forward and allows you to ramp pretty quickly. We do play 4 of just because we do want to see this pretty consistently as an opener and whatnot, but do play a 4 of. I will go over navigation and open hands near the end there, so make sure you watch the end. The next one we play is going to be our Black Maria. We do play a 3 of it. It's a 2k, it's a 3 cost, 2000 power. The active main effect allows you to bring in 5 rested Dawn, match your opponent's Dawn, and then have to return it all. So this actually works very well early game, and also when you're using a lot of events that will minus out. It allows you to even ramp an extra Dawn with Leer effect if you don't have, if you weren't able to use that -2 throughout the game, in mid game or end game, or even early game on your first 3 Dawn turn. So definitely a must is a 3 of. We might consider going up more, but currently I find 3 of is plenty enough to see it, with a lot of different openers to make it very powerful. As a 1 of, we do play this Rip Law. If your opponent has 7 cards or more in hand, minus that 1 Don, play them, and they have to shuffle it up and trash 2 cards. A lot of times this can throw a big wrench on just removing some cards or some key cards in their hand. So I do a 1 of this just because you don't always need it, but it's there, and it kind of keeps your opponent at bay if they're trying to draw a lot of cards. Great into many matchups such as like Bonnie and just Dofi, and just a lot of matches that would draw a lot of cards. So we do play 1 of. It's a great blocker also. Another ramp card that we do play is going to be 3 of the Mr. 2, a 4 cost, 1000 power, 1000 counter. Just play it, ramp a Don. When attacking, you're able to match one of your opponent's characters. So if they dropped a big body or something, you can swing and then match them. So if it's like 9k bodies, you get to swing 9. So great for ramp. But if you can get him stick, or if you can put him into late game, he becomes a big swinging body if they're unable to remove it right away. With the leader effect attached to it, it does make him a 5 cost, so it can be more difficult to remove him. But we do play a 3 of. There might be some more tweaks to this, but I found that this was the most playable and most consistent play. We do play a 3 of the Frankie here, 1k counter, 4 cost, 5000 power. It's a blocker. On play, -2, pitch a card, draw 2 cards, and then use leader effect and gain that rested active again. So a great card. There's some fun combinations in this deck profile that you'll see in the future, or in the end of the video here. So I'll show how to use Frankie and a few of their cards to its full potential for sure. A 2 of that we are also playing is going to be this 5 cost Sanji, 6000 attacker, no counter, but with the Sunny or attached Dawn to your leader, you're able to pop a 5 cost, pop a 5 cost as long as there's 6 costs on field. With the Sunny, it makes him a 6 cost, and then attaching a Dawn also makes him a 6 cost because it counts himself when he plays it and becomes 6 and pops it. Great tech card. I did have more in this, but I find that there's other combinations that I would like to go for more, but in certain matchups such as like Betty or other matchups that you have to kind of starve, this is a good option to clear board without having to swing to their life. So we do run a 2 of. We might increase it in the future, but currently I like other paths. This is a good option, but you don't always need it, so we only play a 2 of. Another searchable 2k that's in this deck profile is going to be the Sanji. It's a 2k counter, 6 cost, 6000 swinger. But if you have 2 less Dawn than your opponent, then this is actually only costing 3, which is super value because you're getting a blocker for 3. You're getting a 2k counter, which you can pitch if you need, and then he's a 6k swinger also. With the amount of Dawn manipulation in this deck, you're going to be able to use this quite a bit, and it's quite easy to minus out your Dawn with certain events and kind of drop below the threshold and allow you to play this pretty easily. But once again, we go through more of the combination near the end there. Currently we are playing a 2 of this Sanji here. It's a 1k counter, 7 cost, 7 cat swinger. Allow you to minus up to 1 or more Dawn, allowing you to use your leader effect, also resting one of your opponent's 6 costs, and then against rush. I do find I do use this quite a bit early on to help clear board and just get a big body for your opponent to kind of have to deal with. Once again, with attached Dawn, he turns into 8 costs, which is more difficult for different matchups to deal with, such as Dofi with his Gravity Blade and other cards that may remove stuff super easy, or bouncing, using law to bounce stuff up. So another great card, only 2 of. We end up not really using this much with the different combination, but sometimes he does come in clutch, and worst case he's going to be a 1k counter. A card that not a lot of people will see or expect is this Monkey D. Luffy. It's an 8 cost, 10,000 power, but with a by having a 10 cost on field, which generally is going to be having a Sunny and attached Dawn. You're going to be able to gain Rush, which is which a lot of people don't expect. This isn't an on play, so I do use this against Blackbeard quite a bit. There's combinations that go really well with this set. Also, dropping a 10 drop, being able to play this before or after, and just gaining a rush next turn. A pretty sneaky card that not a lot of people see coming, and comes in clutch all the time. A rush card that is black that doesn't have an on play, so I only do 2 of these, just because we don't use it too often other than in Blackbeard matchup when you can't do your on plays. But there are other matchup where this does throw your opponent off guard, especially if you're playing it like on a like a 9 Dawn turn or something, or if you get the Sunny out, attach Dawn, save 1 Dawn for Gum Giant, and then also get a big body out, and it's hard to deal with to get rid of too, because it ends up being like a 10 cost. The next card that we do play in this deck profile is going to be our 10 drop Gear 5 Luffy. This is a super fun card, and works and synergizes with many cards in this deck. But essentially it's a 10 drop. You minus out all your Dawn. You're gonna then be able to use your leader effect, ramping an active rested. You're gonna be able to then use his effect by resting that active Dawn and gaining another Dawn, putting at 3, attaching to leader, being able to swing for 6, take another turn, drawing two more Dawns. Your leader effect, you're gonna be able to pop 1 Dawn to be at 6. You're gonna be able to drop like your Sanji blocker. You're gonna be able to drop like Frankie. You're gonna be able to use like a lightning or some other combination to really ramp you, and you essentially go right back to 8 Dawn turn with a blocker. Or if you're able to go for a game, you can attach your 5 Dawn to your leader, swing for 10, and then swing this for 12 to end the game too. But we do run a 3 of that just because we definitely do want to see that combination coming up for sure. Here is the next card that we go use in the deck profile. It's not a searchable card, but it is something that we do run a 4 of because it's super strong. You do get to see it pretty often, being able to cycle with a Frankie or something else, or just cycling with itself. Just 1 cost, -2 Dawn, pitch a card, gain 4,000 power, and then draw 2 cards. Super powerful. A lot of times you'll just play this and then be able to cycle like a 2k, like 2/2ks, or another Gum Giant. But super broken card. Definitely something that we are worried that will get banned in the future, but for now we do run a 4 of, and you are able to use this quite efficiently in this deck with the leader factor one. But we do run a 4 of that. The next one we run a 2 of is going to be our Gum Lightning, another great card to help clear board without having to swing into your life. Just 2 Dawn, is searchable with the Trafalgar Law Searcher. -2 Dawn, KO at 6,000 power or less. Use the effect, re-ramp it. You're able to also get a +1 Dawn off a trigger, so do consider using this, especially if you're trying to early ramp. Once again, I will go through the opening hands and what your curve is looking like, but there are some god hands that you'll find that you'll be two turns ahead of your opponent, and then after you drop your 10 drop, you're slightly behind, but or right matching up to your opponent. So super fun. We do run 2 of, something I may consider to increase in the future, but right now I think a 2 or 3 of is pretty good. The next one we are running, which isn't searchable, but generally a pretty good tech for a lot of different matchups, especially for Blackbeard. If you find these 2 for Blackbeard, you pretty much are going to be far ahead and be able to win. This is one of the few cards that's able to get rid of the Burgess pretty easily. If you hold 2 of these, they drop the Burgess or Kuzans and then kind of double Burge you with like a 9 or 10k Burgess. You can then essentially use this -2 and just bottom deck them so they can't even recur with Kuzan. We run a 3 of this. Great card. Off a trigger, you can also use his main effect and kind of minus out the Dawn and pop it for free. Once again, we'll go through a different combination that you will need here, just because there is a lot of cards that will end up doing the minus the Dano, but cards like Black Maria will then allow you to kind of re-ramp or re-get your cards. Let's go through the opening hands. Opening hands, you generally want to see Sunny. It's just a quick one-turn play. Allows you to get your ship out. If you see it, great. If not, it doesn't matter. This deck profile doesn't really depend on your stages as certain other deck profiles, where if you don't see your stage, you fail. Stage is just a bonus. It's a quick way to cycle hand. It's a quick way to add a little extra spice. So some of the other decks who have more removal will have a little more issues dealing with it. Generally opening with a Law is going to be great too. You generally will also want to see Zoro. A Black Maria is always great as an opener. If you can see a Bon Clave, that's going to be another strong opener. Frankie, as always, is going to be strong. If you see any combination of these, you're generally going to want to keep. I do like opening with stage just because the extra cost reduction does allow me to use the Sanji blocker to blow up a 5 cost pretty early on and put a big body up, and then also kind of slow your opponent down from building a wide board. But once again, stage isn't really a big deal. If you're looking for your Law to open, you're generally going to want to find 2 Zoros. If you have 1 or 2 Zoros in hand, you generally want to keep also, just because it's going to give you that extra ramp that you really need. If you're bricking, Black Maria on curve is really nice. You go Sunny, Black Maria, your opponent's at 2 Dawn, you use Black Maria effects, you ramp extra 5 rested, go back to 2 and use Leer effect, ramping rested and active, putting you at 4 so you gain 1 extra Dawn. So Black Maria is a great opener. A lot of times your opponent can't deal right away with Black Maria, so if you're able to then use your Lightning, Top Knot, stuff that really reduces your Dawn early to clear their board, you can then Black Maria, bringing them back to ramping that Dawn and then matching your opponents. And then like even some matchups where if you're popping a lot of Lightning, if you're popping a lot of Top Knots, if you're doing your Frankie and stuff, you may not even want to do your leader effect or ramp right away. You may want to end it with a Black Mirror effect and then re-ramping there also. So there's a lot of cool combination and a lot of outside thinking in the box, outside of the box playing this deck profile. But essentially what you generally will want to do if you're able to, I like to Black Maria gaining that ramp. You will then play that Zoro to ramp. You can play another Zoro to ramp, or you can play that Bon Clave attached on to leader and swing. At this point, if you can open or gets a 10 drop into your hand by doing that crazy ramp with Black Maria or 2 Zoros and a Bon Clave, you're pretty much at 10 down. Your opponent goes to 6. You would just automatically drop this 10 drop, or your other option is to play, like if you're ahead and have a lot of life, you want and you have your ship, you're gonna do all these ramps, or on your 9 Dawn or 10 Dawn turn, depending on if you have first or second, you attach Dawn to your leader, you attach Dawn to you have your ship, you will swing your stuff out and then rush with this and get that extra attack in. Even if you can't get the rush out, you may want to play this as a hard drop, so in your next turn they're either focused on trying to get rid of this, or you're going to be able to swing it and get extra value or card or life off of your opponent hand. But essentially you're just going to ramp super quick. You're going to be essentially 2 turns ahead of your opponent. You're going to play either this or your Luffy card here. You're going to swing for 6. You're gonna swing your board out. You're gonna play this. You're gonna leader effect. You're gonna once again rest ramp, and then play this to get the rest of going to 3. So essentially, you're going into your free turn with 5 active Dawn, 1 rested Dawn. You can then either use Sanji to add a blocker, or if your opponent is at like 1 life, playing this combination generally can end the game too, unless they have a lot hand size, but end up with your 5 Dawn, either playing a 3-drop to drop a blocker. If you're unable to play that blocker, you can also play Frankie, kind of ramp out. You can play the blocker into saving for a Gum Gum Giant next turn, or you can use like your Lightning or your Top Knot to clear out blockers, and or just remove another card from your opponent's hand just to really slow them down. And then in your next turn, you actually go to 8 Dawn, which is crazy, especially if you have blocker or if you don't use your Gum Gum Giant, which is very viable if you can ultra ramp. So that means in your next turn, because you have a 10-drop Luffy on field, this Luffy then on your 8 Dawn turn will essentially give you a free rush, right? So going into your turn after the 10-drop Luffy, you just ramp another card going to 9, attach 1 to leader, swing a 6, swing a 10, and then swing a 12, and generally that will end the game pretty quickly. But super powerful deck. The strong matchups that generally are pretty good for you is going to be, it's pretty much going to be like Blackbeard is pretty powerful. The finding 2 Top Knots is super powerful. Having that rush Luffy in the end is super powerful. If your opponent is really bad at kind of controlling what they're pitching and everything, you're gonna get a lot of value. You definitely want to pop that Sunny early. Remember, in the end, especially if there's no lead effect, there's no on play, these are end up being not played, but rather is used as pitch for Frankie or other cards, especially once they start running out of cards in hand where they can't pitch because they're holding those 10 costs Blackbeards in hand to try to play against you. Other matchup that's it's pretty strong into, especially if you can ramp super early, finding your Top Knots against Shanks, popping it down to dropping your Lucky Roo on bottom deck, or using Lightning to pop certain stuff. Super strong. Getting to your 10 drops before Shank does is definitely going to be what you need to do. Other matchups such as Bonnie's pretty strong. You just really have to deal with that kid or just ramp super quick. Matchup that this struggles with is going to be heavy aggro. Unfortunately, against like a zoo package Zoro, it can be very difficult to deal with. Even ST21, the deck profile that we dropped not too long ago, can be pretty aggressive in this. Heavy aggro is definitely going to be harder for this, but every other matchup is pretty powerful. Even into like Kid, even into like Usopp and stuff. Just ramp super quick and try to clear the board out. And even at regionals, I was able to take some wins off of Dofies and everything. That extra cost really kind of cooks them from bouncing cards back into your hand and whatnot. And yeah, super fun deck. There might be some changes that I'll work into. I did see like a Gamma Knife could be powerful. The Lightning build looks kind of cool. But we are trying this into the Treasure Cup, and then we also went to Montreal and gave this a try also. But overall, super fun, super playable. I don't think it's going to be your S tier deck or something that's super groundbreaking, but definitely we have an engine that works very well, and we are gaining a lot more support in the next couple sets. So we are looking to give this a go. Peanut Butter Luffy, super fun. Like I said, we did go undefeated and taking home a winner card. So let's see what our winner card is. This is going to be the first one for my collection here. We do need all 4, but it looks like today we are getting a Wiper. We got a Shandian Warrior, Gogo's favorite here, but we did get our first winner card. Nice 2k, 4 cost, 5,000 power, play search. So beautiful card. I'm glad to add that first winner card to my collection. We do have many more deck profiles coming out and a lot more content, including our Montreal vlog, so make sure you like and subscribe. If you are looking for some new volume 3 singles, those are available on 41 Games, and if you use that discount code MK27 Hobbies at checkout, you do get 5% off. tons of new product coming out. EBO2, very excited. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care, be safe. Let me know if you have some secret sauce for this deck. I do want to keep building this and playing it, and then we do have some more new deck profiles that we are working on. So we'll see you on the next one. Take care, be safe, goodbye. Perhaps you one down. Nope, this is different. This is from my government. What do you mean, are you dead? Bro, you're playing so dirty. Fuck Laboon. Double Laboon. Jack right now or what? Yeah. Yeah, but look how many cards you have. Oh. Oh. We did it! Rematch.